Hello, Disco Faces, and welcome to Minicast, your weekly Almost Human podcast. This week is a minicast, a much shorter version of our weekly cast that goes over things we can't quite fit into a single episode. This week's cast is all about first times. That is, the first time we see things in the pilot episode. So let's jump right in.
All right. Crow here. This is the first time we see, just a buttload of stuff. This episode pilot's the pilot of a season, as MJ calls it. Mm-hmm. And it opens every can of worms in the refrigerator. If you didn't know, they keep cans of worms in refrigerators.
My granddad used to when he fished. Mm-hmm. So, yes. Yeah.
So, this is the first time we see the big one, the wall.
The wall.
The wall. We see it in a sweeping shot. Mm-hmm. We don't see any close-up shots. I mean, when you get up close to it, you don't really think of it as a wall. Well, not the wall. You just think of it as a wall. Because, I mean, it's huge. It's like one of those things that it gets so big that it obscures everything else.
And you notice the buildings in the background because they do look a little dilapidated and worn down and rugged and dark.
It looks like there's just like a permanent creeper fog on it. Like the house upon the hill. It could be 70 degrees, sunny out, but the house upon the hill has like a thunderstorm. That's what it looks like over the wall. And the wall's not really mentioned like it's a thing. It's just like, oh, they came over the wall. The wall.
It's always mentioned in passing, so you kind of know it's there. You know the wall exists, but we don't know specifics.
Everyone but the watcher is used to the wall. It's just like, oh, the wall. It's kind of like an East-West Berlin thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal made about it, which is probably why it came as such a surprise later on when we met Nigel and he goes over it in his big old rappelling equipment.
Yeah.
That's why it seemed like such a big deal, because it feels like you haven't heard about it, but it's there. It's like an Easter egg.
Yeah. Well, is it an Easter egg, though?
No, I mean, Easter eggs
definitely not a plot hole, which I don't believe in.
Yeah, it's not a plot hole, but I mean, it depends on your definition of an Easter egg. Like, are Easter eggs useless? Is the bad robot useless? Is the red ball useless? I feel like the red ball's not like an Easter egg, but we still see it, and that's never mentioned.
Well, not now.
Not now, but it's been there. It's been there always, and that's never mentioned. Like, unless you're looking for the red ball, you're never going to see the red ball. The wall gets in your face at least once this season. It's like, this is the wall.
Yeah.
And here's this 70-year-old man going over the wall with a rocket power rappelling equipment.
Hey, no judgments on the 7-year-olds.
Hey, he can get it. I mean, I'm imagining the G-forces that he is subjecting his body to, and you know what, Nigel? Get it.
Okay. The next thing we see are the MXs.
All four. Rarity.
All
Extreme rarity.
I feel
it's rare enough.
I feel like when we see that fourth one and we put that picture up, it should have like sparkles and a rainbow over top.
Be like, we can open the gates now.
Yeah.
We've had all 4 keys, or I don't know why there's 4 MXs, but apparently there are 4. And you know me, I keep an eye on all the robots. So I know all the robots as I know their actors, and I know which ones they show up as. I have not been able to figure out number 4.
Yeah.
This is my mystery. It's my mystery to find out by the end of this podcast. I'm going to scour the credits.
Maybe you should ask your buddies on Twitter, since you seem to be such great friends with the MXs on Twitter.
I don't know why you keep saying that we're friends.
No. We
are slightly acquainted. Like, I'm acquainted with them, and they probably don't remember who I am.
Oh, I think they remember you.
I do have a cute icon. This little fat bird. It's a fat bird. Who could hate it?
Who could hate Rick Grimes? That's the icon on my Twitter. Never mind.
Oh. You know I'm bad with actors' names.
Yeah, he's a character, not an actor.
I feel like he's... Oh, see? Look, I'm even worse. I'm sorry. Is that a Walking Dead reference?
Yes. How dare you?
I was just making sure I didn't want to be wrong for the 3rd time in a row.
I
was racking up points.
I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore, though, so...
Because it betrayed you, but we can go into that.
I was super betrayed, but let's, that's neither here nor there.
Anyhow, yeah, I mean, we did find out who voices the MXs.
Yes.
His name is Joe Smith. Hello, Joe Smith on Twitter. And apparently he was also a Cheez-It scientist, so there's that.
Like about cheese or...
No, like, remember those way back when they had those Cheez-It commercials and they, like, decide when the cheese is aged well enough? And the cheese would, like, play pranks on them?
No.
It was, like, a really stupid commercial, but they were kind of funny. He was one of the scientists, apparently.
No.
And he's very proud of it. It's, like, listed on his Twitter, like, former Cheez-It scientist.
I don't know.
He's a nice guy, but he doesn't tweet a lot, and he doesn't do too much on it because he just voices EMXs when they do talk, which is not terribly often, actually.
No, they're really not.
They come up with their occasional sass once an episode. I can see him doing the entire season of MX banter in like one sitting,
probably
in a voiceover box. But yeah, found out who that is, so I'll link that Twitter so you can go and give him a nice little follow. And so we see all 4 MXs for the first time. They not all of them do stuff.
No.
We see, well, two out of the 4, so half of them do stuff. Because we see MX1 in the raid, we see MX2 being assigned to John, and
his demise.
And his demise. He went out with a bang. I did, like, for the longest time, I didn't remember that. I at the beginning I still had them confused. I didn't realize till recently that that was the Scott bot. And that, I was like, that's the nice one. But the nice bots don't do well with John.
No.
They annoy him.
Except for Dorian.
Dorian also annoys him, but it's a different kind of annoying. It's like an annoying, like kind of how I annoy you, but you keep me around.
Or like a little brother annoyance.
Yeah. It's like, God dang it. You annoy me, but you're kind of the funny annoying. Like, I can't help but laugh at you annoying. And then we see MX3 guarding the bullpen, and we see MX4 in the background.
Being useless.
Like, what does he do?
Useless. That's what he does.
Do?
Uselessness.
But aren't there 8 classes of MX? So I want to know.
I have no clue about all that. That's all you.
He's being worked on by Rudy, so apparently he's already decommed. So,
but
there's like several classes of MXs. So he has to be something, but he doesn't move ever, so I can't say either way about what he does. So that's our fun one. And so we see all of those. This is the first time we see Rudy.
Yes, your favorite, Rudy, and his butterflies.
And the blue butterfly, fringe reference. But yes, Rudy is actually my favorite character. Because he's played by Mackenzie Crook, who's my favorite, who played Rigetti in Pirates of the Caribbean. And he's always quirky, and that makes me happy. But I feel like if I had a child, I'd want him to grow up to be Rudy. That would be my goal.
What?
Awesome robotics. Keeper of the code.
Okay.
This is why I'm not allowing myself to have children.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that could be for the best. No, I'm kidding. But no, Rudy's interesting. Rudy has secrets. Rudy has things that are locked away in a box, and the key is somewhere in Planet Endorian.
Rudy works in a cathedral.
Foreign Syndicate? What?
He works in a cathedral. I don't believe we see too much of it, but you can barely see. And now that, like, after it was revealed and you go back and you see, you're like, whoa. You can see, like, the stained glass in the background. At first you think it's just, like, colors in the background to add lighting. No, the man works in a cathedral. Like, what? I can't even begin to fathom that.
Well, I have trust issues, and
you don't trust. I assume does MJ trust him?
So I should just do a mini cast called "Trust Issues: The Story of MJ."
Yeah, I feel like we should just delve into your childhood. Like, how do you feel about your mother?
No.
Did she work for Syndicate?
Totally TV and movie oriented, because I always put my feels and my heart and my soul into a character, and then 3 episodes later, he's always that fucker. He's always that person. And I'm just
tell me about. So the better question would be like, tell me about your first fandom, MJ. Your formative year.
Fandom? My first fandom was Power Rangers.
And were you betrayed?
Yes, by the Green Ranger.
Ta-da! The trust issues begin.
Yes. And I was in love with Tommy, too. So once you find out he was
Ooh,
evil,
Tommy. Ooh, ooh, I remember that pain, too. Damn.
Yeah.
How dare you bring that back for me? I think I repressed that memory.
Yeah, well, you try watching that live week to week.
I did. Excuse you. I'm not that young.
Uh-huh.
I did watch Power Rangers with my brother.
Uh-huh.
We all had Power Rangers figures, and my mom would only give me the pink and yellow ones, and he got the rest of them, so I just stole them.
Oh, I remember almost cutting my finger off on broken glass from a picture.
All right.
Those.
I mean,
see, there you go. Trust issues.
My memories are not as vivid as yours, but I did watch Power Rangers.
I did Power Rangers. I remember the day it premiered.
Yes, you can remember that. I don't remember that, but I'm not that young. Like, damn. Cut me some slack.
You're a fetus.
I am not quite I'm a toddler, not a fetus.
Yeah,
Get
you're
it together.
You're a
whatever.
Fetus. Anyway, we see... who else do we see? We see Valerie and Maldonado and John and Paul. Richard Paul. I refuse to call him Richard. He doesn't get a name. So basically we see John in the precinct.
I feel like we just call him Detective Paul. Like, no one ever calls him Richard. Mm-hmm. Wasn't Richard the Third short?
What?
I just had a Shakespeare reference, and now I'm going to Google it.
Okay, so... as you can see, I don't remember much of school, so I don't know what just happened. School was so long ago.
Oh. He's 5'8", but he had scoliosis. I knew it! He was kind of short.
5'8", but he had scoliosis.
So, like, knocked him over, gave him small man syndrome.
Well, okay. Anyway.
Back to Almost Human. Back to the future. Yeah, we see the entire... this is the first time we meet the precinct.
Yeah. And John doesn't trust Richard Paul, just like I don't trust Richard Paul.
You don't trust anyone.
Yeah. So John and I have that in common.
You're no, because you don't trust John either. You're just gonna stand in between them like, I don't trust either of you bitches.
You know, memories are an iffy thing. And being that John doesn't remember everything, don't trust him.
You don't trust anyone. We're just gonna take, like, that's gonna be the constant in our equation, like the...
Yes, that I don't trust anyone.
The sun is the center of our solar system, the earth is round, and MJ trusts no one. Yeah.
Well, is the earth round?
Ish.
Is it?
I think we're bending into an oblong shape due to the pull of gravity, but we're mostly round.
Are we really here?
You know what? If you want to go deep into your brain space, you can have at that, but I'm going to pause this. Okay. Pause the recorder. Not today. Different. When we go over, don't we have a minicast plan for, like, the deeper questions of sci-fi?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That should probably be narrated in Morgan Freeman's voice.
I think everything needs to be narrated in Morgan Freeman's voice.
He does, like, the universe, and he does Secrets of the Universe, and he does all the, like, National Geographic ones, and I feel like I learned so much about space.
No. No.
Fine. But then, enough about... Because, I mean, he meets the characters, but that's expected for a pilot, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, we see that he seems to be super close to Maldonado.
Yeah, like brother and sister close.
Yeah. To me, they look alike, and I would not be surprised if you find out they're, like, half-siblings or something.
Yeah, I mean, they're real close. But then again, isn't there that thing, like, when you know someone for so long, you start to look for like them because you mimic them all the time?
No. Anyway, this is his first time, I guess, he meets Valerie, because he seems to be a bit unsure about her.
And she's all in, like, fangirl mode, like, that's John Kinnox.
Yeah.
He did the raid. He survived. And then Paul is like, yeah, he botched it up, blah, blah, blah.
And clearly, we'll see, and you get this, as the relationship is strained now between Paul and John, but maybe in another time, in another place, like 17 months to 2 years ago, maybe they were homies for life.
maybe not 17 months, maybe like 3 years ago, maybe even in training,
Anna?
maybe pre Anna, maybe even in training, and then something happened. I feel like they have, what is it, the Randall and Mike Wazowski sort of thing going on. Like, once we were friends, but now we hate each other.
Okay. What's that a reference to?
Monsters Inc. I'm sorry, but like every time I see them, I think like John is Mike Wazowski. He's trying to just get by with his life, and then Randall is Richard Paul, and he's so angry about everything. He's just an asshole.
Okay.
Don't tell me you haven't seen Monsters Inc.
No, I have not.
My God,
I have not seen Monsters Inc. I can't
we're both gonna
think of the last like kids movie I saw. I really can't. No.
I am a fetus because I was old enough to enjoy Monsters Inc. when it came out. When I was young enough, so that's my fetusness showing.
Well, I think
in this particular instance.
No, I saw the Jack Frost movie,
Rise of the Guardians.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was recent. Like I was like 20 when that came out.
Yeah, well,
Monsters Inc. came out like near 2000-ish.
Oh, that was like my freshman year of high school.
Yeah, you wouldn't have seen it then.
No.
But yeah, it's anyhow the main characters in that one are a lot like John and Paul, and other fetuses will get the reference.
Yes.
Younger.
Yes.
Chillins.
And John and Rudy seem to be on good terms.
Close terms. He just rolls up in that cathedral like,
what's up, bro? But yes,
been?
and Rudy,
I ain't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, and Rudy seems pretty in his low key way is pretty excited to see John back.
Probably because John's more than likely like the only person who actually comes down to see him. Like, could you imagine 17 months of just being left alone with MXs?
Can you imagine like an 8-hour shift of being left alone with MXs?
Well, it depends on the MX. I wouldn't want to be with Sathbot. Like, if Rudy's bot ever needed maintenance or something, it would be fixed so quickly. Like, I would just be like, first one, in, out, get out of my face, you sassy motherfucker. But, like, Valerie's bot is very nice and gives you sports updates, so I would keep that one around. Be like, Valerie would be like, do you like Paul better than me? Why does my bot always take so long? And you'd be like, no, your bot is much more polite. But
and then
yeah, but as for human interaction, I really isn't John. Other than when Nigel Vaughn comes by, John's the only person who steps into that laboratory. The only human being, carbon-based life form.
Well, Valerie and Richard were there at one point talking.
Yeah, but they come down like after John requested. Like I don't feel like they would go down just to shoot shit.
Well, John, in essence, John was only there to get a new synthetic. So,
but he walks in so comfortably, like.
Well, but I feel like that's John.
Yeah, I feel like Valerie and Paul probably just sent their MXs down. Like, you have legs. Go see Rudy. Go get your maintenance. Go down to the pods or whatever. But John just makes a point of coming down there, so I feel like they're actually pretty close. As far as they can be close, seeing as Rudy prefers robots to humans, but yeah, so I could see why Rudy was excited to see him.
Okay,
that's just my feels on it. Yeah. I'm partial to Rudy.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not the only one.
No, you're not.
It's my favorite keeper of the code.
Around this time, John and Dorian meet because this is why he's going to go see Rudy.
Yeah. So through and then it's suddenly an instant friendship.
No.
Not instant, but they're on better terms than he was with the MXs.
No.
He's just like,
I don't know.
Okay, well, what do you think? Well, it's not instant friendship, but they are.
No, they're not. I think John. I think John's indifferent to Dorian. I think they first meet. John's just like, well, Got to keep you around.
But that's better. That counts as better turns than MX's. He straight up hates those things.
Well, yeah, but we know that. We know why he hates them.
So indifference is a step above hatred. Depending. I mean, sometimes it can be a step below.
That's not true, because I know in my personal life, even though I'm indifferent to you, I can function with you. But if I hate you, I hate you.
Exactly. That's why it would be better to be I am indifferent about the people that live behind me, because I don't care about their life. Well, I
don't think friendship...
this one dude really across the street, and I want to punch him in the face.
I don't really think friendship becomes a thing for them until... I guess, in essence, Dorian really kind of proves himself throughout the episode.
Yeah, okay. I take back the friendship thing. Yeah. Not instant friends, but he does start off on a better foot than with the MX. Yeah. He's like, oh.
Yeah. His trust issues are a little better than mine, maybe.
A little. Seeing as he trusts 80% more people than you do.
Yeah, I got a good 15. You've good 15, that's it.
15... of what?
15% trust level.
Who are you trusting? I thought it was 0.
Oh, were we just talking about in the show?
Yes.
I trust in Syndicate.
Okay.
And that's it.
That could be 15%. Yeah. I don't know anything of their numbers.
I trust in Syndicate, and that's about it, because I know where they stand.
It's a sad world. You can only trust the bad guys.
I mean, I went into the episode with Nigel Vaughn thinking, okay, this is Dorian's daddy. He is caressing his face like he is in love. Like, I miss you, son. Why didn't you come to dinner Sunday? Mom was worried. And then we lead into this betrayal. This absolute... Even Rudy was just like, hello, Dr. Vaughn. You are an inspiration to me. And then this happened. And just like, see...
I would like to remind you that I did call that one.
Anyway, since I didn't want to see, but this is why I have trust issues. I don't want to believe that someone's father would just be like, nope, I'm using you. And you have to fight your sister? Man.
You know what? I have watched enough trash reality television that I could completely believe that.
Nope. Didn't want to believe it.
I know you want to hold on to that last shred of hope in humanity, but honey,
look.
But this is speaking of fighting your sister. This is the first time we see Danica.
Yes, it is. We do. We see her. She's the head in the box.
Mm-hmm. That when they're taking the Syndicate high level dude down there to the evidence locker. Why? I don't fucking know. They felt like that would be a good idea.
Well, they didn't take him down there until a couple episodes later. But
True.
Maldonado and John and Dorian were down there because everyone was searching through the evidence room trying to find out what this thing was that in Syndicate was so pressed to get. So pressed, and after watching the rest of the season, you see why.
They were pressed to get Danica. However, Danica acted on her own-ish whims, which means Vaughn has to be in Syndicate. If they wanted the head, unless that was just a red herring and they wanted something else completely.
Well, wasn't it?
I was pretty sure they wanted her head.
Look, listen, we're getting too deep here. We are going to get to that episode. We're going to get to it. And when we do, we are going to pick it apart scene by scene, storyline by storyline, just dialogue and words and stuff and things.
Okay, well, fine.
That was an important episode.
Okay, so we'll put Danica's head back in the box.
Yes, let's leave her on the shelf.
She's on the shelf.
We know she's there. We know she exists. Let's leave her on the shelf.
We know her makeup's on point.
Okay. And she's one of the few, once again, that we see with the red lines on her face. The MXs we see with the red lines. Danica we see with the same lines. But Dorian we see with blue lines on his face.
Yeah, his standard lines are blue. Although they have shown red in Distress. And they went disco. Disco face. They went disco when he hadn't had enough sleep. Or charging time, so.
Yes.
But other things that we see for the first time, we see Pelham.
Yes, we do.
And it's kind of the last time we see him.
Yeah, first and last. It was just hey, here's this person. Oop, nope, never mind.
Here's this dying man who's apparently ridiculously important to John that we never see again in the season.
Yeah. But maybe we get more. Maybe. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I guess I'll save it.
You have to say it now.
No, maybe I'll save it for a theories episode.
Please.
Maybe Pelham is Dorian. That's it.
We'll save it for the theories episode.
Yeah. Yes.
Because we're gonna fight.
No, I guess that means that's a no.
We can fight about it. We got.
It sounds to me like you're saying no, you're wrong, and never again.
We also see Anna. We also see in Syndicate. We see it in big black letters on the back of the bald guy. We see Anna. We see Maybelline Anna, so they like to call her. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's in Syndicate.
Oh, yeah, that beautiful sunrise. Let me caress your face. Good morning, boo. How you doing?
Sleeping with her weave out. I mean, sorry.
That's so rude. That could have been her hair.
It could have been, sleeping with her hair out.
Yeah,
either way.
It could have been her hair.
Even if it was, we've still her hair. All right, my bad. Sleeping with her hair out. Well, maybe there's satin pillows. You never know.
I don't have these problems, so I don't know what to tell you.
Braid it up is what I'm saying. Seeing in Syndicate. It's the first time we see him. They're a pretty big part of this particular episode, but they're not that big in other episodes.
No.
Like, we don't have another in Syndicate-driven episode, which is interesting because they're the big bads, but we don't... Like, there's other... For once, there's other big bads in the series.
I mean, I think you can technically consider the episode with Nigel Vaughn and Danica an in Syndicate episode.
It's never really explicitly said, like, this must be in Syndicate, and then in Syndicate comes by and, like, this is definitely in Syndicate.
Well, the guy that they bring in to interrogate, they already know is part of in Syndicate. He states he's in Syndicate. You see him at the end of the first episode. He's the one telling them this is what we're looking for in your evidence locker, in which case they find it. Well, Danica kind of makes herself known, rather.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can reconcile the fact that Danica has her own agenda within Syndicate's agenda, because we don't know their full agenda.
I can't even say she has her own agenda, because...
she wants to kill that particular dude. And that's her main goal. She wants to take him out. I figured
maybe she was programmed to take him out.
She wasn't programmed to take him out, because remember, her big thing was that she had too much anger. She had anger issues, and that's how come the little girl in the taxi lived. Is because she
we'll have to talk about this when we get to that episode, because
but this is I feel like this is the only real, like, and what I mean is that other episodes are driven by other big bads, and it's not all in Syndicate. Like, oh, there's a heist. Is it in Syndicate? No, actually, it's these guys. Oh, there's drugs on the streets. Is it in Syndicate? No, actually, it's this dude. So that's what I meant.
Okay.
And then the Easter eggs. That's the only other thing we see. The first time we see them, and they do come back, we see the red ball. Yeah. The bad robot. The red ball, which is apparently important. We don't know if the bad robot's important or if that's a true Easter egg.
Yeah. But the red ball, so I've read in a news article or two, may or may not come up and may or may not have meaning. So J.H. Wyman says. So maybe, I mean... I'm assuming it will, because they just show up in random places, so...
And they're always floating, like, they seem to be, like, Sentinel-type things, but there's also the... Remember, kids, hugs, not drugs, Sentinel, so...
Yeah.
I have no idea what the red ball is for. And this is the first Fringe mentioned. Now, the Fringe Easter eggs are not all the same. There's almost human Easter eggs, and then the Fringe Easter eggs, we get... The one that we get in the pilot is the blue butterfly. Later on, we get the white tulips. I don't know if there's any other Fringe references, so...
I didn't watch Fringe, so... If anyone wants to point out and let us know if there were other references that they saw later on in the series, feel free and we'll discuss it.
Yeah. So let us know I started Fringe, but I haven't had the chance just because of my tight schedule to get past the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know the other Fringe references, I know for a fact the White Tulips are one. I know for a fact the Blue Butterfly is one, but I've heard like whispers of other ones. If you've got it, if you got screen caps or episode numbers or any kind of information, put it in the comments below or message it to us on Tumblr. We're open to see it. And that's really all the first times.
Yes.
That we see. So we'd like to leave it, but the biggest one was John meeting Dorian. That's the first time he wakes up. And this is something that struck both of us. It struck me that he breathed in. And struck you that he gave his name.
Yeah, first thing. He wakes up saying his name. It's not like, I don't know if maybe that's programmed or if he's always known he's had a name. Who gave him this name?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Well, Nigel Nigel calls him Dorian. However, later episodes we meet 494. Though the fandom has given him a name. He doesn't have a name, and he doesn't introduce himself by his name.
No, he didn't.
So and we just wanted...
I do remember during that episode tweeting Michael Ealy asking him, is Dorian the only one with a name? And he did tweet me back and he did answer and he said, yes, because Dorian is special. So Dorian is the only one with a name and he's special somehow, which is basically brought up throughout the entire series, including the first episode. He's special, he's picked because he's special. I guess he's brought back because he's special. So what's so special about Dorian? Yeah,
but so we just had one open-ended question, not like why it's so special about Dorian, because you could write books on that. But why do you think Dorian has a name? Gives your answer in the questions, in the comments below, or you can email us at insyndicast@gmail.com or leave a message for us on Tumblr. It's always open. And that's it for the minicast. Our next full episode cast is going to be airing on April 24th, same time, same place, 8/7 Central, on Tumblr, YouTube. The next minicast is going to air on May the 1st, so look forward to it. We'll be talking about something, again, not quite sure what it is, but whatever pops into our mind. And as always, keep an eye on our Twitter and Tumblr for more news and updates from us and around the fandom. This is Crow.
And this is MJ.
And we're in Syndicast, logging out.